My experience is limited to the Aristoteles workshop presentation because I work in the Franco-German television ARTE. ARTE is has been the main sponsor of Aristoteles workshop for 9 years, and this is the 10th year where we happily show the best results of the Aristoteles workshops inside the Astra Film Festival. So they invited me to be there as one of the persons who has helped this Aristoteles workshop to exist. Because ARTE, as you may know, of course, relies very much on documentary. The general program of ARTE is made of like 55% of documentaries. So this is very important for us. Creative documentaries is very important. So this is why we had the feeling that it would be a good idea to sponsor, to contribute financially to a workshop dedicated to the rising of new generations of filmmakers in the documentary field. So there was a sort of a coherence between what we are as a television and what the Aristoteles workshop is as a workshop. As far as the films is concerned, what I know, because I've followed year after year, I mean, really, I think we can say that there's probably 20 or 30 excellent films that came out of this. And for the rest, of course, it's like always. You always have better films and then less good films. But I think, moreover, the question of the final result on the films, it's the idea that there is a sort of a network of all these young filmmakers that know each other and who have in common the fact that they came to Aristoteles workshop. So it's very difficult to analyze in now, but it should be analyzed eventually in the future, when you see what has come, what has happened to the students, what career they have made, what films they have succeeded to make, what has been the career of those films. So it is like a farmer who plows and puts the seeds, and these seeds is the Aristoteles workshop, and then we will see what kind of crop rises within 10 years from now, 15 years from now probably. I think it's the commitment of the tutors. The commitment of the tutors is really extremely strong. I cannot compare really with other workshops that exist here and there, but from what I hear, I have the feeling that this commitment is really maybe stronger than anywhere else. Also the freedom, sort of spirit of freedom of choosing the subject. What I hear also is the fact that everything should be ready within 6 weeks, which is very little, a small time. This gives a sort of a challenge to the students. And from what I heard from them, even this morning, the fact that they are obliged to deliver a film after those 6 weeks is a plus. It is our main challenge, because talents is everywhere. You have a lot of talents, but the difficulty is to bring the talents to us. Although you know, it's like a spiral. When you start with a certain level of quality, then it's a certain level of quality of filmmakers that come to you, and then this quality keeps on going year after year. And of course, someone who would like to make very commercial fiction films or even documentaries, he knows that it's no use applying to ARTE, because we will not accept. So it's a question, this relies in the hands of what we call the commissioning editors. The commissioning editors play a key role to select and to make work the best documentary or fiction filmmakers. I think it is very important that we resist the general trend. Otherwise, we would not survive. We survive, or we do better than survive. We exist because we are different. It's because we are different. Money suppliers, which is the state in both cases, from the German and the French side, accept to keep on going, funding us, because we offer something that no other television really does offer. Ratings are on a rising trend for the moment. It is nevertheless small ratings. We are 2.2% of the audience, general audience in France, which is not enormous, of course, but which is not so bad for a rather ambitious television that does not offer any sports, that does not offer commercial movies. I think there is a need for explanation. There is a need for explanation. People are very enthusiastic to understand what's going on in the geopolitics, because they have the feeling that they will not escape the consequences of what's happening in the Middle East, for instance, or in Africa, or the global world needs more and more specific explanations on geopolitics events, for instance. It is the same on the, for instance, on the science field. Science, environmental issues, all these questions are at the heart of our societies and are at the heart of the people. And they want to know what's going on. For instance, one of our greatest success has been a very excellent documentary about food. And this is a question that interests directly the normal person in the street. I mean, no genre better than documentary can bring in this. Also, the great attraction for history. History is very important to understand the present, as you know, and to foresee the future. So we have different slots of history also to answer this demand of explanation, demand of what is the sense, where does society go. And so of course we are not there to give prefabricated answers, but throughout dozens and dozens and dozens of specific stories that we illustrate through the documentary, we bring partial pieces of response, of answers.